Okay, so I got to be spring cleaning time for the E, as they released a decent number of superstars. Oksana. You're probably thinking, oh, how to begin with saying superstars, then I go with Oksana. You know, Lithuanian powerlifter, they could have done a tremendous amount with her had they actually given her a power set of moves. Her theme music was bizarre, to say the least. The way they had her dressed in the ring was unique, but she definitely did have a very unique look, very interesting presence, and she probably could have done a lot more with her than what they actually ended up doing with her. So, Kurt Hawkins. Probably thinking Hawkins. Man, I remember that name. You teamed up with Zack Ryder way back in the day. He was also part of La Familia, which is a stable that Edge had with Vicky Guerrero. Last time I saw him, he took on Adrian Neville on NXT and lost. So he was a guy who they could have done more with, did a pretty good job with when he first started, but he hasn't really done much of anything in quite some time. Yoshitatsu. Last time I saw him was on NXT. Evan Bourne. How he survived not getting canned for the past 2 years, I don't know. But Evan Bourne has also been released. Mark Harris is a referee. Camacho. Don't remember Camacho? Hunico, or what we call him now, Sin Cara, teamed up with Camacho for a while. So Camacho was about a medium build when it comes to height, but muscular Hispanic wrestler. Last time I saw him was he had a really solid feud on NXT with Adam Rose. You know, the guy had a nice look, he needed a better finisher, pretty good when it came to his mic skills, you know, for a guy who's really hadn't done much for the E. So they cooked a decent amount with him. He would have been great to have paired him up with somebody like Del Rio and have him been more or less Del Rio's heavy, but that never happened. And speaking of Del Rio's heavy, Brodus Clay, remember him? Remember when he was Del Rio's heavy and he laid people out and he was really cool and he was awesome to watch? He was like, if you took Taz's moveset and put it on Bam Bam Bigelow's body, remember that? Remember when people liked what he did? Then he became the Funkasaurus, people were like, what? Okay, he's getting a paycheck, can't fault him for getting a paycheck. So they brought up the tons of funk. Last time I saw him was feuding with Adrian Neville on NXT. Currently feuding with Adrian Neville is Tyson Kidd, so hopefully he's not going to be fired in the next go-around. Theodore Long, good old Teddy. Oh, man. When we get my play a fix at now? Or the random tag matches when 4 people are in the ring? Or the occasional 6-man he would make when 6 people are in the ring? He developed the playbook that Mick Foley used when he was Raw General Manager. You the people in your main events, you make them tag matches. That is your go-home show. He just did it for every single show that he was a part of. Jinder Mahal. Remember when he showed up, people were like, wow, he's gonna go places. And then he became a person who was like mentally manipulating the Great Khali. And then he played a flute to distract Santino's Cobra. And then he lost to a dwarf in a bull costume. So he kind of went, yeah, and just disappeared. Him and 3MB was just, they tried, but I don't know if they have no idea what to do with him, or if he was just obstinate in the back, but so now we're down 2.5 MB. Oh wait, Drew McIntyre, the chosen one. Guy who showed up, who actually ran a stable way back when it was like Irish Whip Wrestling, something like that. I actually ran a stable with like Sheamus and Barrett. My buddy Ed told me this. Looked at him do it. Dude is phenomenal. Gets beat up by his wife and pretty much gets Z-listed from there on out. So now, a 1-man band would be a 3-man band for something for those 2 guys to do. Then do a 3.5-man band. Now I get this 1.5-man band. And you now can no longer make that joke. Well, at least JTG still has a job because Most recent name added to that list, JTG. The man you only see in lumberjack matches, occasionally on Superstars, and the occasional battle royal, where you're like, hey, who's that dude? JTG. He still has a job? We can't use a joke anymore, man. JTG no longer has a job.